Propaganda. It sounds like something foreign, something distant, like it only belongs to dictators or far-off wars. But propaganda has always been closer than we care to admit. At its core, it's the art of bending truth until it feels real, and history shows us just how dangerous that can be. The word itself goes back to Rome in 1622. The Catholic Church set up an office called the Congregatio de Propaganda Fide, the Congregation for Propagating the Faith. Back then it wasn't sinister, it was just meant to spread. But by the time the Great War came along, propaganda had teeth. Governments weren't asking, they were stirring, shaming, scaring. Uncle Sam pointing his finger, I want you. The British urging men to enlist or face dishonor. Those posters weren't conversations. They were emotional punches, and they worked. By World War II, propaganda had become a science. Joseph Goebbels knew the formula. Keep it simple, repeat it until it feels like truth. Always give people an enemy to hate. And he fed those lies day after day until hate became duty. The end result? War, genocide, a world on fire. That's what happens when truth is bargained away. But here's the thing, propaganda isn't just a German story. I saw it here in Arkansas. Back in the 90s, when the cameras turned on Little Rock, the story was written to sell fear. Whole neighborhoods painted as battlefields. Every newscast hammering gang war and drug violence. I might have been part of that. I was caught up in it too. But then I stood in those living rooms, zipped up those body bags, listened to the mothers cry. That's what changed me. The violence was real, but the way it was told shaped how an entire city saw itself. That was propaganda too. And it wasn't only the media. Families themselves were swept up in it. I would hear over and over, they say it was the drugs, they say he was in a gang. Who was they? Nobody. Just a rumor repeated until it felt like gospel. And that gossip carried its own kind of weight, heavy enough to crush a grieving family. The danger of propaganda is not that it hides the truth, it's that it replaces it. It gives us a story we want to hear, a story wrapped in fear or pride or blame. It makes us react instead of reflect. It divides neighbor from neighbor, and it tempts us to trade honesty for belonging. But here's the line I will not cross, and I hope you don't either. Truth is not negotiable. Once we start bargaining with it, once we let feelings outweigh facts, we're already on the slope downward. The tools have changed from posters to radio, from television to memes, but the trick hasn't. A lie told simply and repeated often enough will always find believers. That's why we have to be on guard, because propaganda doesn't just live in history books. It lives in our headlines, in our conversations, in the stories we whisper about each other. And when it takes root, it corrodes trust, it hardens hearts, and it gives us permission to be cruel. So remember this, propaganda is powerful because it plays on our emotions. But truth, the real truth, is not negotiable. Lose sight of that, and we don't just lose arguments, we lose ourselves. Y'all be kind to each other, okay?